Right, I'm fucking sick of looking at Dove Cameron's face for the Descendants video, so I thought I'd take a break and look at a different woman's face for 12 hours a day. Ella Purnell, aka my best mates. All jokes aside, Sweetpea is a dark comedy drama television series created by Kirsty Swain for Sky Atlantic, an adaptation of the book of the same name by C.J. Skurs? How the fuck do you say that? It stars Ella Purnell in the lead role. Obviously, I've already mentioned it. The series premiered on the 10th of October 2024 on Sky Atlantic in the United Kingdom and on Stars in the United States and Canada. Yes, I'm doing a video on it already because this series is mint. Just thought I'd get onto it quickly this time. Well, relatively quickly. The premise of the show is that Rhiannon Lewis, Ella Purnell's character, is leading a quiet life as an admin assistant at a local newspaper after severe childhood bullying, and she's living with her father and dog. However, her father's death leads to a chance encounter with a stranger that changes everything. I'm being very fucking vague because I'm about to recap the whole show in a more in-depth way, like all my very other shit analyses. Can we call it that? No, we cannot. I'm going to rank all the episodes on a tier list because, don't know, I need a B plot for this video to keep you engaged. Get ready. Spoiler warning. Episode 1, Sorry for Your Loss. Rhiannon has spent her life being a quiet wallflower, a literal doormat for everyone around her, taking comfort in a secret kill list she tots up in her head, something I'm pretty sure most people do but are too afraid to admit. Living as the dormouse receptionist at the local paper, she spends her days without friends and looking after her sick father, hoping one day to get her break to be a local journalist. But then newcomer AJ comes in, takes the job, and she's seething, but he seems taken with her. 2 points. Fair enough that she's seething. Nepotism is the biggest load of bollocks ever. Secondly, I would also be taken with Ella Purnell if I ever met her. After years of being tightly wound, a family tragedy sets off a chain of events that pushes her to her breaking point, not least when her high school bully Julia returns to town with a high-flying job and hunky fiancé, Marcus, yet for some reason still seems intent on ruining her life. Wankers be wankers, I guess. Her sister proves little help either, in fact adding fuel to the fire. Her sister's an asshole and leaves Rhiannon to deal with grieving her father's death alone, and tries to sell Rhiannon's house to her childhood bully. She'd be first on my list, to be honest. When she's crossed one too many times, Rhiannon finally takes her father's advice and stands her ground, with horrific consequences. She gets pissed on while at her lowest, like literally pissed on. So, after she kicks the guy, he naturally threatens to kill a lone woman at night, who's far smaller and clearly weaker than him. What an asshole. Wait, hang on a minute, what's this guy's name? Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway, she stabs him, dumps his body in the lake, as she should. I'd probably be fuming if someone pissed on me. Episode 1 goes in S tier, by the way. Episode 2. This sort of thing needs some feminine energy. After the events of the night before, Rhiannon has to think fast on her feet, cleaning up the mess in her house from killing Ryan. When the dead body is discovered in the river, Rhiannon takes the opportunity to get ahead at work with the help of newcomer AJ, and to discover if the murder victim was a good person or not. She says she knows stuff about the dead body, which gets her able to investigate. This is where my problem with this show comes in. Rhiannon can get everything she wants by literally just putting some graft in. She has attractive men dying at her feet, literally in some cases. We'll get there in a bit. Whatever. She's a femcel, man. Like, you just gotta accept it. Women, argue with the fucking wall. You like this for the same reason that I like this. Also, it comes out the guy Rhiannon killed was conveniently an arsehole, which she found out while actually investigating, instead of just asking to do so. Boy, ain't she lucky that he's a prick all the time instead of just being a wanker while drunk, like most people. Meanwhile, Julia makes a stop by her house as her sister starts the process of selling up. And a former fling, Craig, he's not been brought up yet, but he's going to be a regular on the show, so there you go, memorize his face. He tries to make the most of a business opportunity. He really wants to buy Rhiannon's dad's old business from her, and she just isn't having it. She's just not ready to let the past go yet, and fair enough for now. I mean, her dad literally just died, and everyone's already trying to pretend that he didn't exist while his body's still fucking warm. As the police start investigating the murder, Rhiannon sets her sights on a new victim. While at a pub, she sees another drunk arsehole, and offs him too. Holy shit, she's really just killing drunk guys who've had a bit too much. Rhiannon Lewis, please never run into me. I'm an alcoholic and a prick. Episode 2 is A tier. Episode 3, Black Spots in the Garage. Fresh from the adrenaline of another kill, Rhiannon gets to work putting together her biggest plan yet, with her most deserving target, her childhood bully. Why does she deserve it? Well, she's an arsehole. Rhiannon loves that. We've very much established that by this point. But Julia actually put graft in with her life. Me, when someone who tries gets a decent life, and I'm not just handed something on a silver platter. I hate it because at the time I was fully for her killing all these dickheads, but upon writing this script, I've just come to realize she's a bit of a femcel. Ironic from a proud incel, but you know. On top of that, Craig finally seems to be noticing her again after that one time they had sex. We are so back. However, her workplace is ready to bring her back down to earth with a thud, and Julia is seemingly present wherever she goes. The plot twist is that Julia isn't real and Rhiannon is actually schizophrenic. Rhiannon, you need to take your meds. After Julia steps foot into her life just a bit too far, Rhiannon feels forced into action and makes a rash decision. Can you guess what it's going to be? She's going to kill her. Of course she is. There's this little montage of her watching killer shows. Literally me, by the way. Do you think she watched Peak? On a real though, Dexter and you probably both exist in this universe, and Rhiannon falls somewhere in between Dexter Morgan and Joe Goldberg for me. She doesn't kill innocents like Joe, but her victims aren't exactly abhorrent like Dexter's. She just kills arseholes. Gamers, do we fuck with the schizoid femcel? Let me know in the comments. Engagement bait, check. Episode 3 goes in S tier. Episode 4, everybody loves Julia. Rhiannon shocks even herself when she struggles to go through with her latest plan, killing Julia. So she has to take control back in other ways. She shags Craig, that bloke who's been airing her. Granted, she only did it to nab the security footage of her kidnapping Julia, but still. Ella Pennell, if you're ever spiraling, call me on 1-800 top shagger. I'm well funny, and 6'1". But as Rhiannon's confidence at work continues to soar, Junior Detective Marina makes a break in the case about the two Donnies who got killed, which have now been linked. Julia was there when the first guy got killed, and now she's missing. Elsewhere, Rhiannon's investigative journalism leads her to the front door of Marcus, Julia's fiancé. Investigative journalism in quotations. She's just trying to find out, like, a reason to game-end Julia. What she discovers as a result has a surprising effect. So what has she discovered? Julia is in an abusive relationship, probably explaining why she's such a bitch. Fuck! People typically have reasons for their actions. I never knew. I don't know why Rhiannon acts so shocked here. She herself has like these faux reasons for her own abhorrent actions. Sorry, I don't know why I'm clowning on this show so much. I promise I do like it. I mean, why else would I take the time to make this admittedly really shit recap / like retrospective? Still don't know what I'm calling these. Episode 4 is B tier. Episode 5. Someone's been a naughty girl. As Rhiannon finds herself bonding with Julia, trouble is rising at work in the form of longtime senior reporter Jeff. Marina uses the vigil to get to know more about Rhiannon, while AJ finds himself dealing with Rhiannon's anger when things spin out of control. As Rhiannon struggles to keep a lid on things, someone discovers her secret, and it ends in tragedy. Remember that bloke from earlier, Jeff? He's discovered that Rhiannon's a murderer, but it doesn't go anywhere, because as quickly as he discovers, he's flattened. It feels like something out of Utopia. Couldn't tell you why, but it feels like it belongs in that show, just because of how out of nowhere it is. I mean, it just calls back to mind that scene where that guy is walking across the hill in season 1, and he's just hit, and then it comes back later. I mean, I don't know, it just works. It's good. I like it in that show. I like it in this one. Obligatory Utopia mention completed. Now, I know this feels like a cop-out to have Jeff die randomly as soon as he becomes a threat to Rhiannon, but it's actually set up all the way back in episode 1 with his lack of spatial awareness.
Jeff from work. For having zero spatial awareness.
That's good writing, that is. With the net closing in on her, Rhiannon is forced to become allies with someone she never expected, Julia. She and Julia frame her abusive husband for the murders in order to clear Rhiannon's name. Julia's husband, whose name has already escaped me, goes berserk, and Rhiannon just kills him. But as she pushes him over the balcony, the feds come rushing in. And, well, it looks like she's been caught. It's so over. Fucking brilliant episode, S tier. Episode 6, Life 2.0. As Julia and Rhiannon are hauled in for questioning, their newfound friendship is put to the ultimate test. And thankfully, they both stick to their story, framing Julia's husband. So, this episode gets to go on for another 40 minutes. We're so back. Marina becomes more determined than ever to prove Rhiannon's true nature, resorting to drastic measures in order to get results. As Rhiannon comes to realise what it is she actually wants out of life, Julia begins to fear she's jumping from one toxic relationship to the next, and decides to change her trajectory. She ditches Rhiannon, committing fraud with her card to jump countries. Rhiannon sees that Marina has broken into her gaff and discovers she's a killer, so Rhiannon gets to have her I am the one who knocks moment.
Look, whatever you think you found, it's not that you can use it, is it? You broke in.
I don't care. I know you'll do it again.
Do what? I have everything I need. So you're going to be waiting a long time. Which is good. Because it seems like you've got a lot of that in your hands. Spending your evenings breaking into people's houses and going through their underwear drawers. But you've got nothing else.
Craig and Rhiannon fuck each other one more time, although not so literally this time. They've both just been using each other for their own gain. But Craig does finally get Rhiannon's dad business. Average Craig W. Just when everything seems to be working itself out for the best, a last-minute discovery leads to a devastating tragedy for Rhiannon. AJ's got his first police contact and gets to see the murder weapon, where he realizes it's Rhiannon's knife. This moment is really, well done. I fucking love it. I mean, he goes to try and calm his nerves, thinking it's just a coincidence, and obviously we know it's not. And he decides he needs to get out, as any rational person would. But Rhiannon pleads that she's changed, and when that doesn't work, she just fucking kills him. Seems that's her go-to move, really. AJ is stronger than me, though, because I'm going to be real, I'd have just let her off. Anyway, Rhiannon's sister walks in right as AJ starts to bleed out on her lap, which means we have a little cliffhanger for Season 2 if it ever comes out. Please! This is the only murder I can't forgive, to be honest, just because AJ is my goat. Very sad. Anyway, episode 6 in S tier. You can see the final list on screen.
That's Sweetpea. It's alright, I guess. I mean, there'd be no other reason why I'd spend insert amount of time speaking about it. Granted, I'm going to be real, I feel like a lot of the target audience missed the point that Rhiannon's meant to be a creep. We'll let that off though. I quite like the show. It adapts from the books quite well, from what I'm told. I don't actually know, I didn't read them. And I don't know how to finish this. Subscribe or I'll batter you. Descendants is definitely next, I promise you. If not, you can strap my balls to a car battery. So, yeah, just look out for that one, I guess. Descendants, some point in November, hopefully. Promise. So, yeah. Happy Halloween. See you whenever. Goodbye.